Okay, so I hope you guys are crushing these 7 challenges. I'm crushing them. So why would we read a book? Why not just read a blog post or an Instagram feed or a Twitter feed or a Facebook feed or an email? The deal is it's pretty straightforward. None of those avenues of reading, of gathering information, help with the following list I'm about to give you, which reading a physical book actually does help with. So number 1, reading a physical book helps with improving our brain's ability to connect ideas. So connections coming together, staying together, reading a book, physically reading something on paper. It increases our vocabulary and our comprehension of new information. Who doesn't want to comprehend things better? Who doesn't want to develop the vocabulary? Sounds like a great idea to me. No worries, this is my kids having fun. It empowers you to emphasize or empathize with other people. So you want to be able to understand people better, understand cultures better, read books. It also aids in sleep readiness, the ability for our body to get into that parasympathetic, that rest relaxation state, out of that sympathetic dominant state, is directly associated with reading a physical book. It can also lower blood pressure and heart rate. So the deal is, think about it, reading a book can actually be good for your cardiovascular system and decrease your risk of things like stroke, heart disease. This isn't food we're talking about. I'm just talking about reading a physical book. And it can also fight depression, because once again, we're getting ourselves out of that stress mode into this parasympathetic rest relaxation mode, creative mode. And as we age, it helps prevent cognitive decline as we age, because we're continually having to pull information, put it together, pull information, put it together. And in a book, the nice thing, is it takes a lot of effort to write a book as opposed to write a blog. And I've written hundreds of blogs, and I can tell you that it's way more challenging. I've written a very small book so far. Working on a much longer, I would say a real book right now, but it takes a ton of effort to write a book, especially a good book, one that people would want to read and could be life altering. So when you're reading a book, and especially a good book, a great book, you're receiving all the energy and input and informational download that an editor and a person who's an expert on a particular topic put into that book. So it's a big deal. This is why it prevents cognitive decline, and it helps our brain age much slower. Many people tell me they can't read because they don't retain the information they read, or they're too slow at reading, or it just takes too much energy, or they read a paragraph and they have to go back and start reading that paragraph over again. And this is what I would say. The only way to get good at reading is to read. That is the only way we get good at reading, is to read. The more we practice it, the better we can become of it. And yes, some people have an easy go at it. My oldest daughter, extremely easy, just boom, 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 reading, no big deal. My second daughter, probably plenty of kids are reading, she's probably, 25th percentile reading wise or so for age. But as she keeps practicing, guess what? It keeps getting better and easier and easier and easier. So the only way we improve our reading is to practice it. And one tip I have when you are reading a book, this is especially important if you have trouble reading a book, is to use your finger and follow along with each word, follow along with each sentence, because this can help decrease distraction of our mind, our eyes, and decrease the energy it takes for our brain to read. Because instead of seeing all these other words around, it just sees the word that's above our finger. So it also helps increase speed and comprehension of what we're reading. Reading is a beautiful thing. If you feel like reading is just too much, too intense to read a book, then I would dare you to say, I'm gonna literally, instead of 10 pages a day, I'm gonna read one single page a day. Give it a go. One single page. And guess what? You do that for a year, you're gonna be reading more than one page by the end of the year, which much greater each. So our lives are gonna accumulate goodness in 22 when we read excellent books. That's opportunity. It has nothing to do with food, has nothing to do with drink, has nothing to do with exercise. It has just everything to do with sitting down in a parasympathetic dominant state and reading the book. All right, let's do this.